Okay, this is on. All right, okay. So this is gonna be my speedrun on. I mean, this is gonna be my tutorial on how to speedrun HE games. Basically, the extent of my knowledge. So I'm plankboii. You probably should be familiar with me if you're interested in HE speedrunning. I hold most of the world records for any percent. 11 out of 17, not including Pajama Sam 4 and Putt Putt Pep's Birthday Surprise, because those games are trash. I've been speedrunning for like on and off for about like a year or so. I'm a moderator in the HE Discord server and a moderator for most HE games on speedrun.com. Okay, moving on. Oh, I didn't start the timer. All right, next. HE Discord server. I'll leave the server link in the description of the video. The community there is pretty helpful. They always answer my questions. They're great to have around. So, yeah. It's not very active. Like, it's not. It has a lot of members. It's just not that active. But like, if someone were able, could like, if someone messaged, people are most likely to respond. So, yeah. If you have any more questions on HE speedrunning, if I didn't cover this tutorial well, then just join the server and uh, let your thoughts out in the Discord server. Moving on. Um, intelligent beings. All right. So most of the moderators in the HE server are speedrunners. So if your main concern is in regards to speedrunning, ask them any questions and they should answer. I am one of the moderators, and I am very active in the server, like pretty much hourly. So yeah, you can come to me first if you want, but like anyone should be able to answer your questions on this. Um, Most knowledgeable I would say in the server is uh the guy who basically fathered HE speedrunning, J2XP or Justin. Uh, so he pretty much knows like most of the information on all the HE games. So if I can't answer a question of yours, then just ask Justin. And he's a pretty nice, pretty funny too. All right. Pre-made saves. Oh shoot. Let me. This is a little awkward. Sorry if I'm acting awkward. This is like a first for me. I've never recorded a tutorial like this before, so let me open up Zoo. Oh my god. Okay, let me open. All right. So this is Mozilla Firefox, a good browser. This is where so you're on speedrun.com, right? And you want to find a pre-made well, okay, pre-made save. Okay, there's no save for Putt Putt Saves the Zoo, so let me find a better game. Okay, Putt Putt Travels Through Time. This game has a lot of variables and like variations, so it's hard to get the best possible seed by yourself. Is this thing on? Okay, so most of the time, there will be a pre-made save waiting for you in the resources tab, and it'll be right here in the saves part. But if that's not there, check the guides tab, and there should be like making a save file for blank, the game that you want to run, and they're made by J2, most of them. Is that all I want to go over? Let me check my notes. Yeah, making these saves, it takes a little time. Like sometimes you'll have the save, you'll download it, but still the save isn't optimal, so you may have to go into debug mode, which is what is shown in these kinds of videos, to make your seed the most optimal. Let's move on. Is this right? Am I in the right thing? That's right. Okay, moving on. Okay, now this is where I teach the basics of the game. The escape key is first. So normally, in most cases, When you're transitioning between screen, like from here to here, for example, you would for speedrunning you would click once, press escape, and then press escape again. Just press it twice, and that should skip all the cutscenes, and then you'd be ready to click to go to the next area. Okay, that makes sense, right? So what I do when I speedrun, I make my escape clicks. I click, and then I like right after I press escape key twice really fast. And that's basically optimal movement for this game. It skips like all the cutscenes. So 2 is for movement in screens, and 1 is for interacting with an object or picking up objects or giving objects. So like pressing this button to open the gate, that's only 1 escape key. Let me try that again. Click, press escape once. Okay, that was stupid. Click and escape, and that'll skip that. Some cutscenes require a lot more escape pressing though. Like this one, this is a really, really long cutscene, so it takes like 5 escape presses, I'm pretty sure. 5, yep. So next, interacting with items. Click and escape once. Click and escape once. It's really not hard at all. It's really basic. Giving items, you click and escape. And normally when you give an item, there's a small cutscene, so just mash escape until you can see your cursor again to move. So I think that's pretty much it for the escape key. Period key. Okay. So period key. Okay, what game should I use to demonstrate this? Okay, yeah, we'll just go here. So the period key skips most dialogue. It doesn't skip cutscenes most of the time. So if there's an unskippable line of dialogue, um, like here, he'll say there's a toolbox in there, but let me get to there. But okay, let me make a save here. So that's what he says. There's a toolbox in there, but if I click it and mash escape, he doesn't like the dialogue does not skip. But if I click it and press period, he'll go right to getting the lunchbox, and then just press escape, and then keep going. But that's an example. I'm using Zoo as an example for my tutorial, so it's probably different in most games. Well, it is, but okay, what else do I have to say about period key? The period key is used more in Parade and Moon than the escape key, and that's just how the games are designed. You can't really avoid it. Next. I'm not really prepared for this. Common mistakes in speedruns. So most speedruns I watch, like, that are below average, like, I wouldn't say world record contenders, they all make really common mistakes, and they're very noticeable, and they're pretty easy to fix. So let me read this. Fair transition between. Okay, so the first thing I wrote down is that some runners will click, but then they'll wait too long into the cutscene, and then they press escape. They'll wait like a long time, and then they'll press escape. Like after you click, it should be instant to press the escape key, like one right after another. Like that. Okay, first one down. Second, and that all of these things basically just take practice. That's it. It's not that hard. Okay. It probably, if you're not comfortable doing that, I wasn't either when I was like starting to run these games, but with enough practice it should be nailed pretty easily. Okay, so another thing, like a lot of runners, and this is less common, but some runners don't even have the full route memorized, and they still do speedruns. In order to get a good time, you have to know the route 100% to be even close to having a decent time. Because the more route memorization, the greater increase of muscle memory that you'll build, and muscle memory is pretty much everything when you speedrun these games. So my phone's ringing. I will be right back. I'm just gonna let it ring. So where was I? All right. So next, yeah. So what I was saying, you can't really get a good time unless you memorize the route. Because if you like go the wrong way once, say I'm starting this game, and I go here, and I'm like, oh, what am I doing? I have to go back. That wastes like a second already. So that's that's not good. That would be a reset for anyone in their right mind. Well, unless you don't have a good time. But making mistakes like that is unavoidable. I do that sometimes too. Can't really avoid it. So practice the route for the game that you want to speedrun. And with enough practice, as usual, it should get pretty easy. And you'll get very consistent with it. Next, playing in windowed. Oh, God. Let me get in windowed for you guys. Okay. So windowed mode is just all around terrible. I recommend no one speedruns in windowed mode. If I ever see a streamer or like a YouTuber that speedruns these game in Windows, I'll like almost certainly tell them to not. Oh, do I have to? Okay, all right. Yeah. There's a lot of things that could go wrong when you speedrun in windowed mode. You could first click out of the window, which like would like you would have to spend some time to recover because you have to click the game to go like back into the game and then play. That would cost like not much time, but it's pretty significant, especially with optimized games like those. And you could do stuff like this where you could where you could move your window around. Is that showing up on mine? Yeah, you could like drag the bars, the outside bars of the window sometimes like and it's really bad. I wouldn't do it. I have to. Do not play in windowed. If you already have been, switch to full screen and get used to it because once you are good in full screen, then you'll pretty much be optimal if you keep going. um, yeah, actually, that's it with the common mistake. Hope you guys learn from that. Next, how I learned to get fast. So the first thing I do, if like I'm learning to run a new game that I have no idea how to run, which has been happening pretty recently. Watch runs that already exist on the leaderboards. Like runners I would recommend watching are like J2 or I don't know, maybe like third or second, third or fourth place runners because I mean, not to put this in a bad way, but like their movement is like I guess less optimized but they have the correct route and like they know what they're doing with their runs. So like it could if you're watching like a first place run, which is like probably extremely optimized at this point, it could be hard to just like pay attention to what's going on. So I would recommend watching J2. J2 is a good runner. Uh, and most of his VODs are in 60 frames per second, so they're really comfortable to watch. So if I want to go right to speedruns, uh, I would even if you're less experienced, I would still record all of my attempts no matter what, because you shouldn't people with less experience shouldn't reset any of their attempts and should complete their runs all the way through and analyze. What I do is I analyze the recordings that I have built up, and I see where I can save time, like the most common mistakes I made throughout the runs. Which could be tedious, but I don't know. It worked for me. Next, build muscle memory. You could do this by having good route memorization and having good reaction time with escape and period key presses. It allows the runner to reset less and be more consistent. I'm just reading off my script here. Next, this one's obvious. I don't know why I even added this one. Don't give up and practice. If you give up on the game but decide later to come back, you'll you will end up being like rusty, and you have to spend more time derusting when you could be spending that time doing more consistent runs and having a higher chance of PB. Practice makes perfect. It's always true. It's a cheesy phrase, but it's always true from my experience. Oh, conclusion already? What? Hey, in this tutorial, I informed you about my background on HE speedrunning, the HE Discord server, and the many benefits from joining it. Link in the description. Most knowledgeable members of the Discord server and on speedrun.com, because there's forums and stuff. Where to find pre-made saves, or how to make saves, or how to make saves optimal in speedrun.com. The basics of movement in HE games, which is pretty much all you need to know about movement. The escape key, the period key, and their functions, and when they should be used. I also taught you about, well, I also told you about the most common mistakes I see in HE speedruns, and the ways I've learned faster. Okay, that's pretty much it. So I hope you've gotten something out of watching this video, and I hope you guys could end up doing speedruns of your own and put them on the leaderboard. It doesn't really matter. You don't have to get a good time in first. Some guy who recently started speedrunning, he only started speedrunning Spy Fox 2 yesterday, and he's already like, I think he's 4th now. Yeah, he is 4th in the game. So it's really good for just starting out. So yeah, like anyone has the skill to play these games. It doesn't take much time to learn and get good at. So if you do end up submitting, this is a meme by the way. If you do end up submitting a run to the HE leaderboards, make sure you say in the run description that plankboii has brought you here. That's it. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll be trying to upload more runs soon, I guess. All right. That's it. This is an awkward end. Okay.